one of the things that I see with a lot of high performers is almost like this dilemma. You know, once we have that fire inside us and we're chasing for that goal, and you have an incredibly strong why, the dilemma can be the cost and the sacrifice for the winning. What did that look like for you? What was the sacrifice, and how important was winning for you?
So winning come in different ways. Like, you know, of course, winning is the highest score at the end of the game, right? That's win. We all want to win. Nobody wants to lose. Just leave it at that. When it comes to how you go about winning, for me, that's a win within the win, right? So even if you lose, that's still a win because you trust in the process. You going through it. You are putting in all the time and the work. So for me, I had to really say, you know what? I got to sacrifice my time. I got to sacrifice my body. I got to sacrifice my mind. You got to sacrifice family. You got to sacrifice friends, business. Like, that's the ultimate sacrifice when you really lock in to your craft and locked into being great to try to win. Like, it's the ultimate sacrifice.
And on reflection, when you think about that, was that cost worth it?
1,000%. It definitely was worth it. I'm here, you know, playing almost 2 decades in the NBA, right? So the sacrifice was definitely worth it. I mean, it was challenging at times. Did I want to do it all the time? No. But it was definitely challenging. But I understand the assignment, and it is what it is. Win, lose, or draw, it is what it is. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. I'm going to be upset. But the fact of the matter that you can learn from those wins and losses is what drove me and what kept me going.
You know, it's so interesting as you talk, right? Like, the reason I love to sit down with a person like yourself and hear from, you know, the sports world is because the parallels between sports and business
1,000%
are just they're so tightly connected.
1,000%.
And you know, as we shift through this conversation a little bit later, like, I really want to get down to that business side. But of course, you know, I'm sitting here with Melo. It'd be crazy for me not to ask a little bit about NBA, right? So one of the things I want to ask you is, like, if you boil down in your mind to a single moment your NBA career, what's the first thing that pops into your mind?
The single moment? Well, the single moment, it will be the first where it started, which is the draft. I think that's the single moment that we focus on because in that moment, life changes. Like, it instantly. There's no, like, oh, your life is going to change 2 months from now. No, your life changes the minute that with the third pick of the 2003 NBA draft.
Yes.
Carmelo Anthony. Like, the minute I walked on that stage and put that hat on, my life changed.
And help me for the audience, right? Like, you know, we have a lot of people here listening in Australia. The reality is your upbringing is very unique. It's very unique to the people here listening to this audience. What does life change, like, in that moment to the next day you're wearing that hat? Like, share with me what that looks like.
So life change in that sense is, okay, the day before or just a couple weeks prior to that, I was on a college campus playing college basketball, playing in the national championship, going to class, no responsibility. Like, the minute that you walk on that stage, you're a pro. You're a professional. So you don't have that leeway anymore. You're supposed to know how to do this and how to do that and how to speak and how to dress and how to conduct yourself. You're supposed to know that because you are a pro now. And there's no room for wiggle when it comes to mistakes, when it comes to finding your path, when it comes to finding your own journey, because you are a pro. And professional means you're a professional at that craft. So act like it. So that, you know, for me, that's what changed. I mean, responsibility, right? You become the the head of the household overnight. You become the breadwinner overnight of the family. You got to answer all the questions now for the family, where just a couple months ago, prior to that, you didn't even want to bring the question up to me. And now I got to be able to answer it. I got to be able to answer the question and execute that answer. That's the change that I'm talking about. And on top of everything else, on top of game and, I developing as you're still a teenager. So.
Man, I love that. You just brought a huge smile to my face. That idea of that dinner table not getting asked the question to having to have all the answers. It's epic.